Well, hello everyone. Here to show you the photo dream coloring right here. Is talking about right here is the details about the photo coloring, and then right here I went ahead and drew is like the details. Is so far as talking about it could be Colorado, the Rocky Mountains. It's like it kind of could be the Himalaya Mountains to say, but let's just say if you start out with the location, and the location that I started out with, of course, was talking about is like a collection of old photos that I had gotten from family members, and of course with this photo right here, of course did not include, of course, was is the location. It's like in the set of photos that I would have, that more likely I would be able to maybe tell them apart just by looking at a few of the labels. But I say that the details I got right here, which I went ahead and drew, of course, off of the photo. But then, of course, other details about the picture, of course, is showing us you got the trees right here. You got the trees, and of course, I picked the photo right here of like the view of the mountain right here, and then you got the mountains, and then along with the glaciers. You say that it's like geography type study, but you have right here is you got the trees, which one tree could be is like facing east or say west, but and then you got the detail right here of the trees down here. But say to draw just some of the detail of the trees about right down here, which some of the trees would be like the color of say orange. It is, and then go ahead and to add a little bit of a green right here, like the trees down here. And if the photo were taken back in the 1982, it was. Go ahead and just add just a little bit of detail right here. It's like the trees. If you were like on like the edge, say you on a mountain or whatever, on the road, like on like a cliff or something like that, then you would see the the details right here of from the picture. That the way I drew it was that talking about is so far is between the focus and near side and far side, which most of us nowadays on our cameras that we would maybe be familiar with, like the ISO or something like that, the high resolution, say ISO, that would be able to take real good clear pictures of from the distance from where you were and from the object. And of course that I guess we say back in the old days that they would have it to where that before cameras were even around, that I guess, which according to what I've seen on most movies, that they would have it to where that they would draw out whatever detail that they see, and then use something like say clip arts. But go ahead and had the marker, but then go ahead and work on the sky blue, and of course add the details right here. For like if this were like if the this down here would be like a detail for like the pond and pond or lake. But in the photograph, of course, it shows like it looks like a little lake, that will be like located around the mountain type of area. And then of course with the location, that the way I think about it is like where I started from. Whenever I start working on like a picture, a collection of pictures, is to go ahead and get some ideas for what you want to use so far as pictures. That not all of them had labels on them, and of course that from whoever family member that gave you the photos, is to know about the detail that you want to use so far as editing wise. And of course that I can maybe do some of the stuff on like a Photoshop network or something like that, or it could be the editing tools on you say on the software. It's like of course on computers, the computer based, or it's like it could be that some type of shop that you would use like a it's like a extreme shop or something like that. But then of course that this activity right here, of course, is what is the type of activity that I've been doing for the past 15-20 years. It is that I learned how to do artwork kind of like this, to where I would use crayon and marker. And of course that with most of us would think that it's like if they say if there was any type of better tool, but I'm like there more likely maybe later on. But you got the detail right here I went ahead and did of the mountains. And then of course to go ahead and use another, it's like you got robin's egg blue, and then of course is to, if I wanted to put a little bit of robin's egg blue right here for the mountains. And then of course the mountains would more likely be like a tannish white type color, which I can go ahead and just put just a little bit of detail robin's egg blue right up there. And then go ahead and add this color right here, silver, is add just a little bit of silver right here, silver color. And just to kind of bring out this, like if most of us have seen the mountains before, that most of the mountains would have like different shapes. It's like according to what you see on the pictures, you say maybe a satellite image, that a lot of times that's what it looked like, and maybe they would be shifting whatever direction. It's if most of us had did that geographic type study about mountains, how mountains are formed, that whenever they are formed, that they go from it's like piles of rocks that are formed. It could be the shifting of say the Earth's crust. It is, but since it's been a while since I had geography, but I would probably say that would be my best guess of exactly about how mountains are formed. But anyway, never been to that location before, but of course is that it's like other family members of mine have, and of course I don't know if my uncle has been, but it's like that I would think that since I haven't been to that location before, that a lot of times is that to be able to remember it is like a lot of times that's what I kind of like what I do, is that I kind of do this type of activity just to know, is like to what to remember it by. The best ways to remember something by maybe is just to draw it out. It's like if you were good, and most of the time that I remember whenever I was about 10 years old that I started on something like this. As you see, Shay, is that I for Photo Dream, that I would start like on a sheet of paper, kind of like this, to where that just blank. It don't even have to be lines. It could be clear paper. But of course, is that if I were to start out with an object, and then of course that object could be is like a tree, if I wanted to draw a tree, and a lot of us would maybe draw a tree kind of like this. It's like it just like a little mushroom type shape design of a tree. And a lot of times some people may say that that's really not really the proper way to draw a tree, say. But of course, it's like I guess you can draw it however you like. If you want to draw it like with the curve, it's like one side is, say you got the leaves right here, and then you draw it's like where it would sprout, and then draw that that's like kind of like a cone shape. You got the tree right here, and then along with the branches, it's like you kind of like if you were to stand a leaf right side up. It is that. That type of design right there is what you would more likely see. But a lot of people would probably say that whenever if they were to get a whole collection of photos, I'm talking about maybe about over 1,000 of them, and you'll probably say that which ones that are considered family related, or some of them could be as like travel events or vacation time, or say that a lot of people would probably say that that they're just gonna maybe let them pile up, or maybe just save them on their computer. Nowadays they have it to where you can save them on your computer, and then from there, and of course that you would save it on the computer, or go ahead and and then let the photo centers a lot of times do it. But on the other hand, that of course that you probably say that you have so many to choose from, you don't even know exactly which one is your favorite. And I hear that quite a bit, and I would say I don't blame anyone. Is like it's hard to sometimes pick the favorite whenever you have more than a dozen maybe to look at. It's like that from then that certain moment, and then that certain photo capture of which one is clear or whatever, which one has which one's more centered or cropped or something like that, or which one caught the the best image. And of course, the way I got the detail right here, of course, with the marker, is I go ahead and use a little bit of the marker right here, and of course, see here, go ahead and just color in a little bit of marker right here, since part of it was done on crayon. But go ahead and add just a little bit of the purple detail right here, and then you got the trees, and with the trees that it would be kind of like in far distance to where it's like added. It's like some that could be soil or it could be water, but and then after that, and then of course is to go ahead and see here, get the purple. This color right here would be is with the Westara. Westara, like the Westara, something like that. Go ahead and add just a little bit of a color right there. It's like go ahead and start with the edges first, and then go ahead and work way towards the inside. Alright, so we'll start, and then along with the, let's see here, add just a little bit of detail, purple detail right here. The Westara with the W. And then after that, and then go ahead and see here that Westara, and then along with is it the purple, purple mountains majesty. See here, purple. See, that's what it's called, the mountain, the purple mountains of majesty. And go ahead and add a little bit of detail of the purple coloring right here for the mountains, and then of course is the work of maybe add a little bit of purple, right up here for the mountains. And see here, got that, and then the details about that, and of course with the, and then we're working with the clouds here. Majesty, purple mountain majesty, let's say. And then after that, and then of course is talk about is the sky. And a lot of us would probably think that maybe white would be the perfect color for that. But of course, the color I'm looking at more likely maybe is yellow. It's not the color of the whole thing yellow, but then it just to color a little bit of the back. Say the backlights a little bit with yellow. And then we got the yellow detail right here. Got the yellow detail right there for the sky, and a lot of times people would, some artists I guess would say that when they were to draw details like that, then more likely that it's like maybe just add a little bit of white, right here on the top. But of course I guess that's that don't really show too much. But go ahead and work with the Timberwolf. It is, go ahead and see here, there's be a little bit gray inside the clouds, just like if it were overcast skies. It is. But basically is what I'm showing all you right here is basically is that the ideas from the photo that I have seen, and then of course to draw it out, which a lot of people would probably say to be able to draw it out like this is so far as the details for what you see of the mountains, and then along with the trees, and then along with the, if there's a river, you say that a lot of people would say if they draw it out like this right here is basically is know it by an idea for an object such as a tree, is that if you want to add details for the background, it's like you get the see the landscapes, and then along with you get the river right there, and then of course is that working with a variety of colors. But the details that add for Photo Dream, of course, is based on, it's like you say writing on, if I were to write a paper about it, it's like with from what I learned, you say, I remember whenever I was in school that a lot of times that they would not even want you to do anything too much, anything like this right here. That a lot of